very accepting. And so we went to, or all of us, a group of us, my husband, my brother, a huge amount of us had went to her house, which was on Murphy Springs. The house was very cool. It was little, there was a creek underneath the kitchen. Completely fit Joy's family. I don't know if it really fit Tamus as it really fit Joy. So they had a pool up on the top, and we were all hanging up there. We were swimming and having a grand old time. And shortly later, this thing come walking out of the woods, and she had on a tube top, bib overalls, chainsaw. Her hair was, oh my God, her hair was everywhere. And I'm like you, I didn't have much hair there, Tim. A little jealous of all the hair. And she had a chainsaw and a homemade cigarette hanging out of her mouth. And she come walking out of those woods, and I'm like, whoa. And Tamus said, "Hi, Mom." I said, "That's your mom?" And she said, "Yeah. Hey, Mom, this is my friend Barbara." And I'm like, okay. She grabs me and hugs me, and I'm thinking, okay, I guess this is supposed to be okay. From that moment on, I learned unconditional love, how important it was, and how to accept everybody for who they were. Again, I've been raised in the city, honestly and truthfully, and Tim and I have talked about this many times, and you're adorable. I had never met, seen, known anybody of her caliber. What an eye-opening experience. And Tima is just as wonderful as her mom, carries a lot of the qualities that her mom carries, and you should be awfully proud of who you are. Yeah. You are cool. For lack of a good word right now.
Badass.
Badass, dynamite, there's a list.
Yeah.
And we're all blessed that we had Joy and Tama in our life, along with Tama's name. And I really understood about hippies after that. Again, I didn't have all these qualities that I have now. I gained a lot of knowledge from the family, and we continue to gain knowledge from Tama and Joy and the family. Yeah.
Hi. Some of you probably don't know me. I'm Erin, Ethan's girlfriend, and you probably don't know me because I'm the quiet kid that just, Ethan will be like, "Hey guys, this is my girlfriend," and I'm like, but yeah, so being quiet, I tend to observe a lot, and being Ethan's girlfriend, I got to know the Hewletts very well, going over to his house and, you know, observing, and I saw, you know, how much Joy meant to everyone in that household. And, you know, after she passed, I saw how hard it hit. I watched, I wish I knew her better. I only heard her TV through Ethan's room, and it'd turn on and I'd be like, "Whoa, what's that?" And Ethan would be like, "Oh, it's my grandma." And I'm like, wow, she watches TV very loud. But just, you know, I watched everyone in that house. As Joy passed, I watched everyone, you know, react, and I empathize very easily, so watching everyone go through that, I just wanted to be there and help out, because she seemed like a very lovely woman. And I regret not talking to her more, because I only said hi to her once, and I didn't know how to talk more than that. So I hope I can be there for those who knew her better, and I hope everyone can get through this.
Yeah.
Just stand up here with me. You don't have to say anything. So I am Kay. You already heard my siblings come up and talk, Ethan, Elise, and Cease. And this is Linda. She was very good friends with Joy. She's got a bit of stage fright, so she doesn't want to be speaking. She did write out a poem about, somewhat describing what her experiences with her were like. I'm going to read it out for everyone. If I were in New England and the lilacs were in bloom, I'd dance around the maypole, then I'd put them in your room. You danced alone in moonlight, and you danced in morning dew. Though time has passed, all too fast, in spirit, you still do. So, as mentioned, we as mentioned, we spent a lot of time with Joy in her last years as she was recovering from lung cancer. I'd make food for her and things. I'd come in and she'd be like, "Oh yeah, thank you, chef, thank you, waiter." We kind of play off each other a bit. She still liked to have fun and banter. Did her best fighting through that last bit of her life. And there are times when she was much more lively. Have a few good memories from when we were kids. Back at her house, we'd play around in the hammock, and she'd have stuff on the radio. We'd go up in the attic and tell scary stories, and go into the river. I think we have one of those rocks from the river we took back to our house.
Okay.
So that tradition lives on a bit. And she knew how to live well and treat others kindly. She fought hard as hell through that last bit of her life and made the best of it. I think a lot of us are glad she's not suffering anymore. We all have different beliefs of where she may have gone, but we can all agree she's not suffering anymore. Thank you.
What's up, y'all? I'm Seamus. I'm, I guess, her grandson by a very convoluted path. And I didn't know Joy that well, because I grew up in Georgia, and we were only out here, like, once or twice a year. But every single time I saw her, she always wanted to know how I was doing. She always, cared about what I was doing, and I could always just feel that she cared about me, even though I didn't see her that much, and I thought that was always really special. Even the last time I saw her, when she was, it was this last Thanksgiving, so she was not as strong as she once was. She still, wanted to talk to me and see how I was doing, and I don't know. I think just being accepting of someone and wanting to see how they're doing even when you haven't seen them in a while, and just being there if you want to talk, I think that's how I'll remember Joy. So, thank you.
All right, we're getting close to wrapping it up, but I wanted to share about 3 different things. First was a story about when we lived out in Jerusalem Valley, and oh, Jay wants to talk. Come on up, Jay. He's holding a baby. That's my favorite baby. You want to switch?
It's okay. Hi everyone. My name is Jay. I'm Elise's husband. I've met most of you. Some of you I haven't. And so, hello. Nanny. Nanny was, I came here 2019 in March. And I met this beautiful woman, and instantly I was able to make like that grandmother connection that I had back at home with my own grandmother. And I could instantly tell that how amazing she was. The way she spoke, the way she behaved herself, the way she goofed around. I mean, you could hear her talk stories for hours. She just knew how to talk. And she was a great storyteller. She always made me laugh. And so when I first moved here, I moved in with Elisa at the Commons house where Nanny used to live. And she would stay up all night watching The Walking Dead. She used to love it. And I used to like it too. I used to watch it previously, and she was ahead of me, and so I tried my best to catch up to try to, spend the evenings with her so we could talk about the same thing. And she, yeah, so from the course that I was there, and that she was there before she moved into her mom's house, she was very active. She was very persistent. She was a little stubborn. I would wake up sometimes and she used to have this Subaru, really old school Subaru, and
It's here, yeah.
well, at that time that car did not work, and so I would find her lifting up the hood trying to turn on the car, and I would ask her, "Where are you going?" She's like, "I'm going to my house up in the mountains," and then her hut or her cabin up in the mountains that she would always say, "Hey, I'm going there. I'm going there." I was like, "You're not driving there by yourself." And she's like, "No, I don't care. I'm going there." And so she would always talk about going there, and I could tell that she used to love that place a lot, and that's where I believe she wanted to pass away. But like Kay said, the last few months of her life, she was fighting so hard, and it was incredible to watch. It was very inspiring because I believe that she could have gone before she did, but she waited, and that to me is just incredible. The fact that she waited to see everybody I think we had a holiday party and she got to see everyone, and so when I would go visit her, she would always have pictures of my baby boy right here and Shia in front of her bed, and I thought it was just like awesome because as you're seeing life end, you're also seeing life start with the new kids, and I'm happy that she got to meet him. She got to hold him, which I really wanted her to wait for, and she did, and for that I'm grateful. And sometimes we would butt heads when it would come to like religious stuff, but like in a more like funny, serious kind of way. She was amazing, man. I loved her, and I'm gonna and hopefully all y'all do, keep her memory alive. She was a great woman, and obviously Tama is a great woman because of her.
Oh man. So, you want to talk, Joel? I don't want, anybody can keep coming up and talking, I just have a couple of things that if don't get mentioned, I wanna make sure we share about that.
This is the gentleman that helped her get to Christmas.
Yeah, this is Joel that helped us, take care of mom, and also is from Lake County too.
When I first met Joy, she came and picked us up, about 6 of us in her VW bug. She was a very awesome woman. I was inspired by her free spirit, and I got to go up to the house up on, in Honeydew, and it was amazing out there, and getting to see how she lived and how free she was, and it was awesome. And I'm very grateful that I got to spend the last couple months there with her. We shared many laughs, getting up on Tama and feeding her bad stuff for breakfast that she wasn't supposed to have. But I'm very grateful for the time I had with her. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Tell them about your tattoo. I know, but tell them what you're gonna get.
Oh, so she asked me how many tattoos I had, and I counted them, and I told her I had 13, and she said that that's not okay, that you can't have 13. So I inspired for her. She had eyes on the back of her neck or on her shoulder, actually. So I'm gonna get a Volkswagen Bug with the eyes tattooed into it, so that way on my shoulder in memory of her. So. Thank you guys.
Oh, Terrence.
Hi, my name is Terrence. I know if you guys probably haven't seen me in a long time. And I'm pretty sure you guys didn't know that Joy had a black grandson. Ron found me at a very young age, and man, he really just mentored me, took me underneath his wing, and like treated me like I was his kid, you know, like he gave me a chance every weekend to like spend time and take a break from. I grew up in the back of Apple Valley. I don't know if you guys have ever been there before, but it's a treacherous place. But he gave me a break, and he showed me something new, and I think as I hear all these like awesome things about Joy, I'm just really reminded like of her impact. Like I think each and every family member that I ever came across like had that like love and that acceptingness, and like, and I just feel like that came from Joy.